Welcome back to Webcertain TV. I'm Gemma Houghton. Today I'm joined by Konstantin Eis, who is the co-founder and international expansion lead at mattress company Casper. So hi Konstantin, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation. Nice being here.
So Casper started, it was a startup, is a startup, but has now started quite a rapid international expansion. How have you gone from startup to international brand?
Yeah, well, we realized that people across the world need to sleep, which was not surprising. But they're all tending to a better sleep. The world is getting more and more hectic, and they need this 8 hours of sleep where they really rest and feel comfortable. And that's why after starting in the US, we were seeing people air shipping products to Europe, to other places, and basically we followed our customers, and this is why we're now expanding internationally.
So the first markets you went into were Germany, Austria, Switzerland,
and the UK. And now the UK, exactly.
So what were the reason for choosing those particular markets?
So those markets are a bit different. There's different regulations regarding fire regulations, and we needed to set up the supply chain differently. We have very high standards regarding our quality among all the partners, and all the partners normally the red line is that they're very thorough regarding innovation, and it took us some time to set those up, and those are our first cornerstones into the European market, and clearly Brits sleep a bit different than continental Europeans do, and we just needed to tweak out the little nuances on the product as well on the sleeping behavior.
So that's one of my questions was going to be, what were the biggest challenges, and I guess that is one of them, making sure that you're not just selling the same product, but the product that's going to be appealing for every market individually.
Absolutely. What we needed to ensure was that the quality which we as Casper want, and we call it the Casper ride, the sleeping on a Casper, is universally the same. At the same time, we are faced with different sizes, we're different supply chain partners, and what we really needed to make sure is that the quality matches. And then we always incorporate people into our product design process. So we were going back and forth. We founded Casper Labs, a community of more than 25,000 people who are constantly iterating and communicating with us on the topic of sleep and on new products. And we really want to make sure that we have the right product in place before we enter the market.
So that's something else I wanted to ask you about, was that you are very much about the topic of sleep as opposed to just this is a mattress, this is a product. Why is it so important to you to have more of a story and a background than just a product?
Yeah, what we discovered is that it started all with the mattress, and I think we were taken by surprise that there is more than just one product to solve. The purchasing in the offline world was very bad for the mattress, but we discovered that people are looking for more ingredients to a better sleep too. So after selling our first mattresses, we had inquiries for sheets and pillows, and this was the starting point for our design team to sit down again and think okay, so what is the next generation of a pillow? And this is why they came up with a pillow design. Basically, it's two pillows in one. And it took them, multiple hundreds of prototypes, multiple thousands of nights of trial. And now we have a product which is, constantly sold out, unfortunately. So supply chain needs some optimization, but still very innovative in the sector.
And you've also mentioned the community that you've built, and how did you go about, 25,000 people is pretty big as a starting point. How did you build that community, and how important is it for you?
It is super important for us because it shows that we're interacting very fast with our consumers and our clients, and also with the fans of the brand. So I think first our product was a very new product to the market in the way how we designed it and how we showed that a mattress can be more than just a thing which you hide under a cover, and out of that we realized that more and more people start talking about the topic of sleep, and there it naturally evolved, and clearly this is something which we want always to facilitate and stay in touch with our people and the community.
So when going into these new markets, of course, you starting from scratch with brand awareness and with people not really knowing what the brand is about and what it offers. So which channels did you find particularly effective for getting that brand awareness out and building building awareness?
So first, we are looking like for people who normally have like problems sleeping, because those are the ones which are adapting to the product first, as well as people who are like a bit thinking about like their health, like it started probably like with like food. Those people who think about food, like they also think about their sleep, and like those people have normally like high multiplicator effects to their direct circles of people. And from there, it normally spreads. We have a high referral rate as a product, which always has been our cornerstone, like of any expansion. And then clearly, like we add also like other channels like Facebook and basically all the marketing channels which you have, but they come like on a second, like consecutive order. Sorry.
And social channels. Then you mentioned Facebook,
Absolutely.
so they're clearly key, I guess, for both driving the awareness, but also for the conversion side of things, for the actual
and I mean,
product.
this is also like where the communication with the community happens. So Instagram, Facebook, they are all like our channels where we constantly interact with the people like who love the brand and who have been in touch with us.
So what kind of things are on your Instagram? People asleep? People using pillows? Do you get that?
Yeah, we do. Like we get pillow fights. We get people like sleeping on the mattress. There's a lot of things happening in the bed. Millennials sometimes do not need to get out of the bed because they're working sometimes even from their computers, staying in bed all day. All that happens within the bed, and this is something which is normally like also like posted on Instagram or Facebook. So it's a lot of happening in bed.
Yes. Let's see. And in terms of the next steps for international expansion, where are you looking to go next? How are you scaling that to even more markets?
So we're clearly looking into all the consumer markets and like the differences and the nuances of those markets. And when we feel that we have like a good understanding of those markets, we feel that we have the quality in place in terms of the product, and then we consider that as being our next step. Currently, like, we're good like in the markets we're constantly looking for opportunities to grow. That's clear, but nothing which we have like pinned down yet. And
you've got a few celebrity investors as part of the project. I believe Leonardo DiCaprio is somebody that is invested in your brand. So how on earth do you get to the point where you're getting people like that investing, and also what is the value of that? How important has that been for your growth?
I think so. Leonardo DiCaprio is a person which values probably sleep highly because he probably has a busy day. I think he got in touch with us like very, very early on, and he's basically an investor as everyone else is. Clearly, like a lot of media pick up the name, but it's not that we put him on a commercial or something. Yeah. So he's invested as a businessman to us, but clearly he's speaking highly of the product, which probably also helps on our areas.
So if startups are thinking, right, how do I get Leonardo DiCaprio? What advice could you give for startups? Maybe not to do that, but to really grow.
I think build a stellar product first, which then actually gets to the point of attraction. I think celebrities are getting so much inflow of like product and people like trying to play something. I think they only do it like for things which they really believe themselves in. And be natural about it, and I think that those ingredients would probably help getting you into their minds.
Great. Well, thank you very much for talking to us today, and good luck with the rest of your expansion plans.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks.